Hello, YouTube. It's December, and I'm Abby.
So one of these things is still true. I am still Abby, but it is not 2022 anymore. It's January. I was gonna record this video back in early December when, an end of the year list would have actually made sense, and I was like, I could just wait to film this in January. And I was being really lazy. I was not feeling great at the end of the year. But then I did end up filming it during the last week of December, and I was kind of like, I really want to get this done, and then I just didn't get it done. Only to spill water on my laptop just a few days after recording it. And after a few days of pure anxiety because I couldn't get my laptop to charge, I just kind of gave up. I was like, all right, this video's not going out this year. Right when it seemed like the universe was telling me no, my laptop suddenly revived itself, and here we are. I'll be posting this sometime in January, so, just go ahead and pretend like the last 2 weeks, haven't happened yet. Antihero by Taylor Swift is still in the #1 spot, I believe, so not much is different. But thanks for watching. Sorry about this. Enjoy the video.
And welcome back to my YouTube channel, 1 Minute Off. Last year I worked on a little video ranking Christmas songs, and I thought, it was a pretty fun little romp, into holiday tunes, classic music of the season. But this year, I gotta say something. I feel that I was not really feeling the Christmas cheer, at the beginning of December. Had some medical stuff happen in November, and some travel plans went awry because of those medical problems, and it's a whole story. But I wasn't feeling very Christ-like. I went home to my parents' house to visit them for a few days at the start of December, and there was a Christmas parade happening on December 2nd. December 2nd. So I feel like it was just a little early. My mom and I were chatting in the car, and we agree there's a certain threshold. I'm not quite ready for Christmas right after Thanksgiving. I need a beat. Hearing commercial Christmas music on the radio just makes the actual shopping for Christmas all the more stressful, in my opinion. That sounds like a lead-in to a typical lead-in to a sponsored part of the video, but I don't have one of those because I'm not big enough for that. Or am I? Established. Just kidding, wasn't that wild? Now, okay, let's get to the meat of this video. I've seen a lot of videos out there already by, good and bad music reviewers of YouTube. The 10 best songs of the year, the 10 worst songs of the year, all that good stuff, right? And a lot of those are valid and good and, all in fun and flavor. But what happens when we simply just kind of take a simple, plain look at what had the top spot this year according to the top 100 Billboard? I should probably top 100. Yeah, that's what it's called. What was in roughly the top spot every month? I thought this would be a good idea since the other day I heard that ABCDEFU by Gail is Grammy nominated. So I'm basically going to talk about the most popular pop songs from over the course of the year. Roughly 12 or so tunes that just have not stopped playing on the radio or anywhere else for that matter through the months of 2022. Now, I struggle. I was like, should I make this video as kind of a silly, idea? But hear me out. I've got a hot take coming up. I've talked about music before on this show, right? I love music. I'm a musician myself. Listen to old music and new music and all this, whatever your definition of old and new music is. I sound like Anthony Fantano. In addition to liking music, being someone who is very involved with the history of music and what went into the production of that music and just how it came to be, I am also the owner of a TikTok account. At first, these two things don't really seem like they're connected, right? But I'm gonna go ahead and create a video. I'm going to go ahead and create a hypothesis in this video that is so controversial, or not, who knows, get ready. TikTok might have a little bit of an influence on the pop music charts. I know, I know, groundbreaking, right? Social media having an influence on music, groundbreaking. Let me be clear, I'm not necessarily trying to say the app's influence has really been bad or good, just that it's happened. I mean, it's something outside of the music industry that is a whole conglomerate itself affecting the music industry is not new at all, right? I wasn't even alive in the 80s, but I've been told over and over that, MTV felt like the death of music because of the now visual requirements that you had to have after your song came out. This is not going to be a video about how like evil the app's impact has been on music. We all know how evil TikTok has been and has the potential to be, and how, there's also arguments about how it's good and blah, blah, blah. It's not this. Just focus on the audio for a little while, right? Let's just sit back and analyze. Let's take a look, right, at roughly the number one song from every month this year. See how many of those were at one point, a TikTok trending sound. Then we'll take a quick look at the top songs from, maybe the past 4 years or so, and just kind of see what the differences are, kind of like see how much influence we had 2 years ago versus now. See if we can spot any, trend. Here we go. Start off with January. This month usually has a bit of like Mariah Carey residue sprinkled into it because of, her song. Left over from, the holiday season, people not wanting to like let go of it, I guess. But de facto winner for top pop song for January of 2022 has to be Easy on Me by Adele. Adele is a power household name. She's a staple of this genre. I mean, her having a hit without a TikTok is pretty likely. Whatever she puts out, people are going to listen to it. It was also released in 2021, so it was kind of like a bigger hit the year before. However, at the time of this recording, this song has 1.4 million views on TikTok, so that is significant. It was a trend. Hashtag Easy on Me has almost 2 billion views, which could obviously, be other things as well, but 2 billion views is a lot of views. It could go either way, okay? But since it's Adele, I feel like inclined to say that the popularity was only heightened by TikTok, if you could say anything about its influence, not, directly raised up by it alone. She's been around. Next, February. The majority of February, the most popular song according to the Billboard Top 100 was We Don't Talk About Bruno from Encanto. And it's an abysmal run during the first part of the year where we just didn't have any like pop hits. And so Encanto came out, and though it was like, it's kind of a forgettable movie, maybe, you can make arguments that it's not, but that song shot to the top and stayed there for a long time. Specifically remember people on TikTok going insane over the song, doing dances, doing trends. And I feel like the movie would not have succeeded as much as it did without TikTok. So it works for pretty much every demographic. It's family friendly. Everyone who has a phone was gonna hear that song at some point. So many dances and come to mind immediately. This certified TikTok hit. For March, we mostly have Heat Waves by Glass Animals. I'm sure you know this one. This song and the presence of this band in the current zeitgeist truly blows my mind. I remember when these guys were nominated for Best New Artist in 2020, and they were like, hey, we've been around for a few years now. I saw them in concert like maybe 5 or 6 years ago in Boston. They're pretty great. This particular song is laced with, I don't know what kind of coke it's laced with, but there's something incredibly addictive. It's been a total of 37 weeks in the top spot this year. Like I don't remember being able to go anywhere this year without really hearing this song, which is even more insane because it came out in 2020. It's another one of those that just like slowly rose to the top over a few years. I don't know whether I can say that this is like a solely TikTok trend, hit either, but I mean, the popularity it gained there definitely did help this like already 2-year-old song get like, I guess, into the top spot for, again, 37 weeks. Anyway, April. April's the month where, this thing starts to get interesting. The song As It Was by Harry Styles, I'm not sure if you've heard that one, and First Class by Jack Harlow, I tried so hard to never hear that one, are the two songs battling it out for like the top March spot. One Direction legend turned floral solo artist and one new song boy. I think it's pretty safe to say, right? Not even controversial that both of these are like TikTok hits, right? Harry Styles is great, but he's not. I love him. He's not really doing anything like different, I guess, in terms of pop music. He's a star child of TikTok without even like really being on TikTok, just because there's so much controversy over Harry Styles. He's just all over the place on there. Like I remember when Music for a Sushi Restaurant came out, and I was like, everyone was like, what is this commercial tune. Both songs are very, they're manufactured, right? Right? Jack Harlow's song got pretty big. His album got pretty big on TikTok too. I'm not really sure why, but I feel like we can attribute his entire rise to TikTok as, I don't know, maybe you feel differently, but I feel like First Class is a very forgettable hit, like the most forgettable hit of the year. In May we have a quick chart topper from Drake, so that happened. He's like still making music, I guess. When I went to like look up this song too, Wait For You, which I guess had the '1 spot in the first week of May, I didn't even recognize the song, which is unusual, right, for a pop chart topper. I think this, as well as his hit Jimmy Cooks later on in the year in July, and the fact that I can't even as like a fairly average listener to pop music, to specifically what's on these charts, can't really remember like a single word or melody or riff or like anything, like how, I don't know what the song sounds like. Every other song on this list I'm like, oh yeah, I can like at least recognize that one. This one, not so much. Anyways, the rest of the month was also shared by Jack Harlow and Harry Styles. And actually, for literally the rest of the summer, predictably with the exception of the aforementioned Drake song, As It Was by Harry Styles dominated the charts for June and July. In August, Styles would only be beaten out by Lizzo with About Damn Time, which is a certified TikTok dance trend thing. I mean, come on. I love Lizzo. That's like an amazing song. But even the producer of the song himself, Ricky Reed, said they used TikTok as a way to market the song because it was catchy and dancey, and the people on TikTok moved quickly. So yeah, this one's pretty cut and dry. The rest of August was dominated by the Beyonce tune Break My Soul, which is another case of like Adele, right? Like whatever she releases is gonna be on the top charts for at least some period of time. But she also did post her very first TikTok of like fans dancing to this song, so I guess this one is up to you. It wouldn't stay for very long though, as Super Freaky Girl by Nicki Minaj dethroned it in the last week of August. She would also release a snippet of the song via TikTok, and by the very nature of the app, it became a dance trend and also a comedy trend as well. But the song was produced by Dr. Luke. Nicki Minaj is friends with a well-known readophile. So I don't know about this one at all. This is the point of the year, right, where even back in August going into September, I was like, hey, I feel like every song I've heard on TikTok is now on the radio, and I don't know if I like it. If we keep going into September, we'll see that As It Was makes yet another round, dominating the entire month again. It was only dethroned by the notorious Bad Habit by Steve Lacy. I don't need to even remind you about how much of an influence TikTok had on that song. Bad Habit was removed from the spot by Unholy, the surprising song from Sam Smith and Kim Petras. This song was absolutely and still is being used for thirst traps on TikTok. Again, it was first teased on there, which is becoming a trend in and of itself, a marketing trend, if you will. You know what? I'm up in arms about this song because it's like the song is written in Phrygian. Am I even saying that right? I actually never said that out loud, but Phrygian dominant scale, which is common in like Egyptian, Central Asian, and even like flamenco music, which is like really impressive, right, for a pop song. And it would be cooler if the song weren't so awful. The song also probably would have remained here for the rest of the year if one of the powerhouse queens of pop hadn't dropped yet another album right at the end of the year, full of supposed hits. Antihero by Taylor Swift does seem to be pretty much the final top hit of the year. And for a second or two there, her entire album, Midnights, was at the top of the charts. Say what you will, right, about Taylor Swift being a bad or good artist. She's a genius businesswoman. She's in such a position, like Adele or Beyonce, wherein anything she drops is going to be a hit, right, is going to be huge anyways. But she's also able to like foresee this tactic of using TikTok to tease a song, get people to promote the song, get her ravenous fan base to promote the song, making videos about it before it even comes out. So when it comes out, it's going to be the biggest thing in the world. Deliberately using TikTok to boost her streams before the music is even out. It's safe to say, like, a lot of the other artists on this list did that as well. But, just to strengthen my argument, let's compare this to, say, just a few songs from maybe every month in the past 4 years. Starting in 2018, you have a lot of people who have been there a long time and have been doing these things for a while, like Ed Sheeran, Beyonce, Ariana Grande. This was a big year for Ariana Grande. And
Drake.
4 out of the 15 singles that were basically in the top spot this year were collaborations between artists, according to Wikipedia. Everyone was listening to
Drake.
that summer and just being real sad boys. Ariana Grande had Thank You Next into the next year, which interestingly enough is one of the only songs in this list to beat out Mariah Carey for her All I Want for Christmas Is You usual top spot in December. That's how big it was. But again, going into 2019 was a lot of the same artists that we've seen. We didn't have a lot of new artists during this time, up until we had Old Town Road by Lil Nas X and Billy Ray Cyrus, which literally dominated the entire summer. With the exception of Louis Capaldi winding his way through the first part of November this year, it was more of the same story, right? Artists we recognized who had been there for a few years already, and of course the year ending with Mariah Carey. I think 2019 is really less important in terms of TikTok, but more so in the switch from rap-based songs to just kind of less of that. There was a point in time very recently where emo, rap, punk was sort of coming into the pop mainstream. Box by Roddy Ricch was the longest running consecutive single of the year at 11 weeks. Pretty much every #1 song was from a rapper, except for a few collaborations between Ariana Grande, Lady Gaga, and Justin Bieber. Then The Weeknd took over with Blinding Lights in April and May. Then in the later part of the year, both Taylor Swift and Harry Styles, again household names, had a #1 hit in August with respectively Cardigan and Watermelon Sugar. Again, interesting since Watermelon Sugar was released in 2019, with the exception of BTS's huge hit Dynamite, which just sounds like Tayo Cruz's Dynamite, and Life Goes On, and one more Taylor Swift hit, Willow, in the latter part of the year. Again, beating out Mariah Carey for her usual #1 spot. The rest of the year was pretty much all hits from rappers. You had Post Malone,
Drake.
Megan Thee Stallion, Travis Scott, etc. But this is the last time we'll see that many rappers on the top pop chart. 2021, or as some may call it last year, is when I think TikTok really started to take a head in the music industry. Mood, a song from 24K Golden featuring Ian Dior, is one of the first hits of the year, and it was actually also on the charts back in October of 2020 when it was actually released. Currently, this song has around 2.7 million views on TikTok. The first part of 2021 was, of course, dominated by Olivia Rodrigo's Driver's License, arguably one of the first tangible, plausible, viral TikTok hits. Peaches by Justin Bieber, Up by Cardi B, Leave the Door Open by Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak. I mean, this is where we really start to see it, right? Pretty much every song here, with a few exceptions, is, or was a TikTok trend or a meme or dance or what have you. So I do think, it's pretty safe to say TikTok has had a major influence on the pop charts, especially within the past few years. And according to this Business Insider article, 67% of the users on TikTok who hear a song on there will go up and look up that song on another app, like Apple Music or Spotify. And we've already seen, numerous situations, even with songs that have already been mentioned in this video, in which, marketing teams or artists have straight up admitted that a song was marketed to the demographic on TikTok. An example which comes to mind immediately, too, is Running Up That Hill by Kate Bush. That was pretty big this year because Stranger Things came out with it and just blew up on the app and just went to #1 again when it hadn't been in #1 since the 80s. Another, as I mentioned in the beginning part of this video, is Gail's ABCDEFU, and how that may or may not have just been this entire elaborate marketing scam, and maybe she's an industry plant. I don't know. Maybe. I'm not sure the song is Grammy worthy. It does kind of sound like it was written by a bunch of men in suits sitting around a table being what do kids listen to these days? And more often than not, there will already be another version of that song released, right? When it gets popular, a slowed down version or a sped up version, just to cash in on that, release that on Spotify or Apple Music or whatever too. And that, more streams means more money for you. So yes, I think it's pretty easy to say that, TikTok, and the way it's changed social media with audio trends has now gotten this very firm grasp on the pop music industry as well. I think, personally, I think some of these songs are awesome, and I think some of these songs are not awesome. And that goes for older ones from 2018 to ones from this year too. What would be smart, I think, for TikTok is to just go ahead and become a record label itself, which, it's rumored that they might be starting to try to do that anyway. And it's easy for me as a millennial, especially, to fall into this trap of saying oh, this is bad. This should not be happening. I remember when Blink 182 was good. It's dramatic, right? It's very dramatic. Yes, capitalism is destroying everything, and yes, we're going into a recession, and yes, life seems bleak. But, pop music has been around as long as we've been able to listen to music within our own homes in one form or another. And it's here to stay no matter what influences it. But again, it's very similar to when MTV took the world by storm and made it all about the visual. It's that visual component just in, an albeit more algorithm-based way. I guess my point is it'll certainly be interesting to see what, the pop music of 2023 will look like and see if this kind of dies down or whether TikTok adapts this trend. It kind of seems like it's falling off already, but I can't really make predictions at this point. Like if this grasp that TikTok has will just fade out as it becomes its own industry, or companies will maybe even stop clout chasing and focus on actual talent a little bit more. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for me for today. I'm planning a lot of different content for next year. I really want to do more music reviews, and I'm making a resolution to just sit down and record more videos in general. I feel like I keep saying that, but it's true. It's gonna be a good year. I hope you've had a good year too. I hope the end of the year is wrapping up great for everyone watching this. I'm really glad that you stuck around with me this year if you have been. And I hope you get some relaxing few days in. If you did like this video, please let me know down below in the comments. What are your thoughts? Do you agree? Do you think that maybe it's just gonna fade out and it's not gonna be a thing in a few years? Or do you think it's gonna get much worse? Feel free to voice your opinion below on the aforementioned content. But yeah, that's all, folks. Happy holidays, happy new year. I'm Abby. This is 1 Minute Off, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.